So welcome back everyone. Once again, this is Kevin from CSMI in Australia. Today going to share with you the modifications of how I've done the EX9700 with a Jetty radio. In the last video you probably saw I was using a Jetty RX14 channel receiver, but I couldn't fit it in that location, so now I've gone to two REX7 receivers. It's a little bit complicated and tricky because you have to do what you call a path mode, where you combine the second receiver to follow the first one, or you can use them as a clone so that in case the first receiver fails, the second receiver will take up the signals. But I'm using the path, which means after 7, the first channel on the second receiver becomes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to 14. So you got 7 plus 7, and that gives you 14 channels. I'll share another video how you program it through the radio for that particular sequence. So let's get this video on the sound closer, and I'll show you the sound and everything with it. So here's the radio, and what I've done is I'm using these three switches: quick connect, hydraulic on demand, and secondary function for using the left-hand joystick for the tracks. The dial knobs on the top are actually for the grab rotate using the quick connect, and then you have the engine start up here. So let's start the engine first so you can actually hear the sound. Okay, so if you push it up, you'll actually get the horn, but if you push it down, it'll crank. So watch this again. And then if you want to stop it, it's quite simple. A quick flick down and back to center will stop the engine. So you can actually hear the start sequence on this one. Now the only difference on this particular sound module compared to the original factory one is you can't increase and decrease the volume from the radio. Whereas the factory one, you can assign this knob or any knob on your radio for volume, and you can actually control the volume, which I think is a great function, but I prefer a good quality sound, hence I've gone for the Servonaut SMB. So I'll just show you, I've routed all the cables, I've actually chopped them and put heat shrink up here so they're nice and neat and tidy rather than just a jumble. As you can see up here, they're all routed the right way. It just looks more neat and tidy. And you can see the two receivers that I'm using up here. So let's go and I'll show you the hydraulic sound on the model itself so you can actually see. It's going to be very hard to show you both the stick function and the boom at the same time. So I'm going to operate the stick as pretty standard function, and then when I actually get around finding how to do a picture-in-picture where you have a second screen that shows you the function, it's going to be better for you guys to understand that. Okay, so I'm going to start the hydraulics using this knob. The hydraulics is on demand, which means you increase the dial, you get more pressure. It's better to do it that way because you've got more control over your hydraulics. If you don't need heavy digging or pump to run pretty hard, you don't need to run it, you can actually control it. So hydraulics on. I'm running about 2.3 to 2.5 bar at the moment. And then you can now see the sound. So let's start the engine. Expand the camera a bit more. So those are the sounds for the machine itself. What I'm going to do now is shut the sound off and show you some of the functions using the single stick operation. Okay, now that it's quiet, I'll show you the sound for the slew motor, because I didn't probably show you that. And then the second one is the quick connect sound. So let's start the sound back once again. Now you probably see up here, let me just get the camera a bit more closer. Sorry for the shakes, guys. Okay, now I'm going to use this particular button for the quick connect, and you'll hear the sound and you'll see the pin go in and out. So it just allows a little bit of scale model simulation, just like in real life. You can see the hydraulic cylinder go in and then coming out again. So it's just about mixing the sound to that particular servo function, and that's how you're going to get that particular sound up there. So I'm going to now stop the sound. Okay, it's a little bit easier to talk with the sound off, and I want to show you a little bit of a complex mix. So let's get the slew right first, the machine in the right position. Okay, now it's going to be hard to show you guys this. So you can see the tracks. I still have to mix this the right way because it's the other way around, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to do up here. I'm using one joystick to track it. And then what I do is I just flick this switch again, and now the same joystick is going to be, you're going to be able to operate your upper car body. Now, I don't know about other radios, whether you can or you can't do it. I haven't tried it, so I don't know about it, but I can tell you one thing. When it comes to radios, there's nothing to beat a Jetty. There are other radios that are pretty good for the price and what they can do, but if you want a good solid investment, get a Jetty, because you can do every single thing that you can think of. I'll try to show you some of the functions up here. So you can probably see up there, I've custom named every single function. So it's just easy to identify when you're doing all your mixes in the radio. It just makes it so much more easier. There are other radios now that can do this particular function. Previously they didn't, because they're actually following suit from what Jetty, who are market leaders when it comes to actual good quality radios, especially for RC truck and construction. So I'm going to stop the pump so we have some silence. Okay, so as usual, thank you for watching. If you have any question or comments, please leave them at the bottom below. I'll try to get to it, or email us at info@CSMI. Thank you for watching.